What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Today is all about Toxic Mobster, a brand new deck that is focused on pure value stats and movement to both control your opponent's locations and cards and combine them with the core focal point of the deck, the two iconic Spider-Man villains, Kingpin and Kraven, who both obviously want cards moved to their locations for different purpose. Now we're going to jump in and break down not one, but two different decks, the core synergy and flex card, tech cards, and combos, everything you need to know to get you started. Now, both of today's decks are focused around our two key players, our defensive card Kingpin and our offensive card Kraven. Both of them having good stat lines. If you get one card into Kingpin's lane, he's a 2-5. We obviously know those are pretty good stats, and they can go all the way up to like a 2-11, even more so. So pretty crazy there. And then Kraven just needs like one card to move to be a 2-4. Oftentimes it'll be a lot more than this, and clearly it's your opponent's cards and your own. A lot of good ways to utilize him as just a good 2-drop curving into our decks quite nicely. Now, the core strategy of the deck is to be using our value statted cards into both Kingpin and Kraven to make their value even better, and all of them have great synergy and perfect curve to go alongside the other cards in the deck. Obviously, cards like Spider-Man, Polaris, these have 3-5 stat lines. Stupid good, especially if you combine them with Kraven and Kingpin. You can really get them to just stupid trade-off value. On top of that, Silk, one of the cheapest great cards in the game to activate Kraven over and over, can oftentimes get like a 2-9 out of value from Silk alone and play her in a way that's going to feel safe. And then obviously all these are going to activate Miles Morales, which is, clearly a 1-drop. 5 is the definition of value. But you can also play him with a lot of these 3-drops on turn 4. You can play him with a couple 5-drops on turn 6. Now, when it comes to the 5-drops, we do have a deck with Sarah, but I want to focus on the main two, and it's typically an either or within the deck. You have Vision, who can be at best about a 5-10 and go into a lane to help you win it, and Arrow, who finally has some really good purpose outside of just having a good stat line. 5-9 is great, but making her 5-11 via Kraven, or even having like a 5-13 swap if you have Kingpin and Kraven together, clearly mean good value. You can clog lanes going into the last turn. We have really good cards to help us in the last turn. Arrow just finds a ton of use within the deck. Now, as far as the cheap cards, right, we already have a lot of cheap cards in the deck with Silk and Kingpin and Kraven being 3 different 2-drops. Jeff naturally needs to go in the deck. He's a 2-3. He can be a 2-5 with Kraven. Same goes for Nightcrawler. Nebula, also a very good pick to play opposite of your Kingpin lane and force pressure so that you can move those cards into Kingpin later on. What's going on, guys? Pardon the quick interruption. Today's video is sponsored by AFK Arena, a casual action card game where players can build up a personalized team and level up with the unique AFK Awards auto farming system. Now, right now is the perfect time to join AFK Arena, and I'll tell you why. First of all, they just added an annual limited time version event with bonuses. Players can claim one of the new awakened heroes, Eugene and Gavis, for absolute free, and alongside that we also have the new beast Panda Dumpty. If you're the type of person that loves true classic RPGs with stunning art, getting the chance to create a diverse roster of heroes with 7 unique factions, then dive headfirst into AFK Arena today. Now, on top of that, they just released 2 limited time Christmas skins of Celestial and Hypergen twins and Lucilia and Liberta, and players will be able to get the infamous Lucilia skin for free. So you can go ahead and download AFK Arena right now using my link down in the description below, and on top of that, 3 players will get 220 free summons, and all you have to do is be the first one to use them. The codes are right here. Good luck, guys, and another huge thank you to AFK Arena for sponsoring today's video. Now, lastly, before we dive into the specific decks, Magneto is just such a great card here, obviously getting the boost off Kraven and inflicting the negative with Kingpin. Sometimes you already have these lanes full, but Magneto's just perfect to win games, pulling Miss Marvel, Venom, Darkhawk. These are core winning cards that your opponent is depending on, and Magneto just screws it all up for him. So just a great card to have and consider most of the time with Kingpin. Now, as far as the core decks today, we have 2 different builds. The first one being the Toxic Mobster, and obviously we have a lot of room to work with this deck. You can see the core cards right here and the ones that we just broke down, and then you notice we have 2 spots that are dedicated to tech cards. Now, these 2 spots can be just about anything. Shang-Chi is typically someone you want in the deck. It gives us a lot of just flexibility with winning games, and oftentimes you can win one lane with the Kingpin Kraven lane, and then Shang-Chi can win you the other. And then we have another spot that can be filled with a couple flexible cards, and I want to break down which ones deserve to be in this spot. Now, Juggernaut is going to be in the other deck, but definitely just a great flex card to synergize both with Kraven and Kingpin. He can feel a bit awkward when to play him, even though he's only 3 cost. It's just sometimes a tough time when and where to play him. Do you hang on to him? So for that reason, you have so many other things to do with 3 drops on your side that he doesn't make every single deck, but obviously really good. I also really enjoy Storm in the deck. Clearly, we've got cards that capitalize off this. We can move cards out of Storm's lane. She's not in all the decks that I run, but definitely very strong in some builds, and people do prefer playing her. Now that we have access to an insane 2-drop in Quake, Quake kind of fits into this whole rhythm as well. It can be a bit weird with Kingpin, and sometimes you can kind of like mess yourself up. I found myself doing that a bit too often, but they are great flex cards nonetheless. You have Stegron, who had 7 power for like 5 minutes. Stegron is such a flavor spicy pick. Like, he's really cool in specific deck builds, but oftentimes he only has 6 power. Spider-Man, Polaris, just better options, right? Spider-Man alone, just a much better option. But Stegron can really provide some help if you have him in the right situations. And then lastly, probably my favorite 2 villain slots are other tech cards outside of Shang-Chi. Mobius is clearly someone I've been loving for a long time now, for the last about month and a half. I think he's just a great tech card, can add a ton of value in the deck. But on top of that, we also have a card in Negasonic who I continue to think is the most just snuffed on, overlooked card in the game as I go through my filters. Negasonic works really well in this deck because you have so much value early on. You've got, Jeff, Spider-Man, Polaris into Kraven, Kingpin. You're hurting the opponent's power. So you're able to get the value from Negasonic quite often, which feels really good. And you can pull off some pretty cheeky plays with her altogether. Lastly, we have Hercules, who I want to love more. I think he's not bad, especially in this build. He gives you another way to knock cards into your Kraven or Kingpin lanes, or you play them in those lanes and you have a knock out of there and they just lose the stats and you kind of build up a lane. If his cost goes down, he's going to be much better. He can definitely fit into a lot of these decks, mainly this first one here. But I do enjoy him as a card. Now we have one other deck outside of Toxic Mobster, and that is going to be Villain Surfer. And guys, this deck is a freaking blast. You combine Juggernaut, Polaris, Spider-Man, the core cards we already talked about, with Kingpin and Kraven. And with all these 3 drops, we have Storm involved to really create a powerful deck fast. Now throw this all together with Sarah reducing Silk to like a 1/5. You can play multiple of these cards. If you get it on curve, it feels impossible for your opponent to catch up. Now, just like the other deck, all these cards are core outside of 2 of them, so feel free to plug and play the ones we just talked about or your favorite tech card. Guys, this one's definitely a winner. As far as what you could expect from the deck, I think it's, pretty competitive, maybe like a 3.5 star, 4-star rating for competitiveness. It's not like the best deck out there, but it can punch up by clogging your opponents and really just punishing them, and then using Magneto as that final piece. Let's go ahead and talk about the turn-by-turn, and then we'll head into the games. Now, as far as the turn-by-turn goes, really, there's just some strategy you guys need to learn about both of the decks. Now, clogging is a very important aspect on how you're going to win, utilizing both Kingpin and Kraven with cards like Arrow and obviously Polaris, Spider-Man to help you clog an opponent's lane, not letting them play any more cards there, and then you just tech against the other lane with Negasonic, Shang-Chi, or just using Magneto to win as well. Really, the core strategy is identifying early if you want to go with Kraven or Kingpin, and also decide if they need to be in the same lane or separate. And then you just constantly try to clog the opening lane from your opponent. You'll see it in some of the matches today. Very easy to understand once you get the hang of it. Now, other than that, we're trying to obviously capitalize on our Kraven to get points from our opponent or ourselves via Nightcrawler, Jeff. I typically wait to move both of those cards towards the end of the game. Obviously, we don't want to waste their moves. Kingpin, never, a bad time to move their cards into a single location. Clearly, Arrow and finishing out is usually the best way to go about it. If you go the Vision route, then you're going to lean a bit more on Kraven, whereas I feel like Arrow kind of gives you an either-or scenario. Now, outside of just clogging, the other route that you can go is obviously teching and then using Magneto, but we also have Negasonic in this build, or you would have a tech card, maybe Hercules, maybe Mobius. You can obviously play both of them down on curve. Negasonic, you oftentimes have a bit more power than they do, whether it's with Silk, Polaris, Kraven. So just scouting out a lane early that isn't the clog lane is typically my favorite play. Kind of forces them into a location. If you choose to play Nebula in this version of the deck and the Toxic Mobster, play Nebula not in the lane of Kraven or Kingpin. For the most part, you want to keep those lanes open so you can pull cards into it. And for the turn by turn, it's pretty basic, pretty obvious stuff, right? we want to try to move cards on turn 3 to allow us to play a 3-drop and Miles Morales, or on turn 5, and you could play, let's say, Arrow and Miles. If you have Magneto in your hand, you probably want to play him on 6 most of the time, into the Kraven Kingpin lane if you could not clog in time. And other than that, you just want to play these cards on curve, you know, just playing for the value that you get from them. Perfecting when to play Spider-Man, when to play Polaris, and, you know, the RNG that both of them have. You just got to get used to that. But let's take a look at Villain Surfer. And this deck is somewhat the same as far as clogging the opponent, but the only other strategy is we also have ways to kind of shut down and control rather than clog, right? Putting Storm down and following Storm with really anything, right? Juggernaut, Kingpin, Kraven, all really good options. I like to Storm on top of obviously Nebula, Kraven, or Kingpin's lane. And then even if you jug into that lane later, oftentimes, you know, the Kingpin or the Kraven is going to give you enough points to maintain the lead. On top of having Surfer, you can Brood the lane as well. You can Gladiator. There's a lot of, you know, strategies to win. Outside of that, it's just your typical Sarah build, right? We have multiple ways to stack insanely high power and ways to disrupt the opponent. I think the only flex card you can consider here outside of the ones that we see is maybe something like Shang-Chi or Shadow King. We do have enough low drops, and typically, if you can get Sarah out on 5, it's pretty tough to lose here. And that's pretty much it, guys. Definitely a deck that you'll be rewarded with the more that you play it. But it's pretty straightforward if you guys did play Silky Smooth back in the day. Everything else I can teach you guys will be in the game, so let's go ahead and hop into some matches. Okay, turn 1, we got Savage Land. We have a couple options here, but really no 2-drops or 1-drop yet. So let's see what we get on turn 2. Okay, not great. You know, all of our low drops stuck at the bottom of the deck. Fine with us. We're going against a Luke Cage guy. Didn't get the memo that this card is dead. We have Death's Domain. We love that. We also like Savage Land a lot. In fact, this is a fantastic play. He'll get the draw, but we're going to just clog up Savage Land by a ton by pulling in that Luke Cage. And we have Death's Domain as our advantage. Magic. He doesn't want to play the long game. You would think, because we're going to pull that. We have priority. Oh my gosh, this is great for us, right? Negasonic down and Miles, I think, is definitely the play line here. Stop whatever he's going to play. We could also Spider-Man, but I think this is going to be the goal here. Yeah, so we kill whatever he put here. This is looking good, guys, for sure. Let's go! The Negasonic finding that value. I mean, you would think he's going to retreat after that. Does he stay? Wow. Okay. Kraven, we can play Spider-Man now. If we pull Magic left lane, that's fine. We don't. Ooh, this could be bad. It's going to go only right, though, because that's the only place we can pull Magic. Interesting. I mean, I think for sure we just go big boy Magneto left side. Is he going to change locations and try to, like, throw us off? I mean, hell of a play. Hell of a play. That could have been crazy. But we end up getting the dubs because we kill a Cerebro 3. Cerebro. Pretty tough for him to win if he doesn't have that. So that was definitely like a fun disruption game. All right, so turn 1, we've got Nightcrawler, Shang-Chi, Miles, and Polaris. Let's go and get our Nightcrawler left side here. Some decent curves starting out. And Eternity Range for the mid location. Silk coming right in time. We'll go ahead and throw her for pressure in the middle for now. This guy's not playing anything as of yet. Vormir, and then we've got Kingpin. So, kind of interesting what we could go with here. I think we just go for the stats and play Polaris now. We won't move anything yet. We could also go Kingpin and move Nightcrawler, letting us play Miles and Polaris. But I think we'll go ahead and go with Polaris now to force the rock on his side. That way we activate Miles as well. Okay, we got magic going out and eternity range activated. And there's our Negasonic. So we do have priority. That's good for us. Do we go Negasonic now with Miles? I think so. Let's stack Negasonic on that side, and then we can Miles here, probably in the middle. Not too worried about this lane as of yet. Oh, it's high Evo. Okay, so our left lane's pretty protected. I mean, I can see him definitely putting in whatever over there. Kraven. We're gonna kill. We have Shang-Chi for the kill shot, right? Let's go Kraven now. Yeah, Kraven now is fine. Go middle. Nice. Okay, let's hope this goes back over to Kraven. He just plays Sunspot. All right, so left lane's protected. He's gonna full float here. Oh, we got the Magneto. We're gonna go Magneto mid to hopefully pull that here. He's definitely gonna float as well. He's snapping. All right, let's play Magneto. He's gonna full float. Yep, nice. So we're gonna drag that mid. He goes up a tad bit. He's gonna play She Not Infinite, right? All right, cool. So he's gonna play both of them. We go first, which makes it a tad bit awkward, but I think so long as we do this, we should be fine. We can't pull unreveal, so let's go. Oh, dude, this guy's 9. He's 1 short of killing with Shang-Chi. All right, so I think we go Kingpin for stats. Yeah, this feels pretty good. I think we have a shot here. Because where is he going to play?
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
Silk's going back over there. It depends on the order where he played cards. We have 20 as of now. Oh, check this out. This is so sick. Beautiful. And funny enough, we would have, tied that Hulk damn near to it. So that's a great showcase of why Negasonic is just perfect for controlling and then keeping him at bay. All right, Nightcrawler, Polaris. We have Magneto. We have Sanctum. We like that. Let's go ahead and honestly snap right into it because we have Nightcrawler and Jeff to get us going. Little Polaris action as well. If our first location's a hard to reach one, we might as well press into it. Sunspot, okay. So what do we got, like a high Evo? Ooh, this kind of hurts us a tad bit. Let's get Silk down now. If that kills our left location, we're hating life. Copy of Misty? Okay. And then Death's Domain. Let's go in and clog this up. And we pull that. I mean, dude, if Los Diablos kills Death's Domain, we're looking good because we just clogged this middle location. We're going to have to just see if it kills Sanctum. I still think it's fine because we can also work into Death's Domain. It's kind of a win-win for us here. Nice. Okay, so it's win-win for sure because we have the safety of Sanctum over here. We can play that on Jeff and Miles now. Do we play both mid? Yeah, I guess why not? This is going to be magic, I would assume. No, it's Cyclops. Okay. He has that other Misty Knight that they're not playing. We can... Oh, my gosh. All right, so we can pull this Cyclops here if he doesn't go mid, which I like that idea a ton. Let's move Nightcrawler. Go Arrow here. If he full floats, we kill the Sunspot. And we plug that lane. I feel like he'll magic right side or he's full skipping. Potentially. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're looking good, guys. He luckily is going to have 9 on this. Come on, give 10. Give 10. Nope, it's boosting the wrong lane. All right, so that's 19. We have Magneto to pull these 2 cards, which should win us the game there. I don't think he plays Jeff, because then he would lose this one over here, yeah? I think it's just Magneto right side. There you have it. What a weird game to navigate, but, you know, we didn't get Kraven or Kingpin early. Didn't get the Negasonic there and still, you know, got a W just by doing what this deck does good, clogging and keeping the opponent at bay. All right, so we have Cloning Vats, Kingpin, Shang-Chi, Jeff, Spider-Man. I mean, about as good as we can get for these opening cards. Got another Thanos player. Surprise, surprise. Cloning Vats is interesting. Sanctum's fine. We like a lot of Jeffs. I honestly think we snap.
Oh, snap.
Do we want 2 Kingpins? I don't think so. Just 1 Kingpin over here, and then we Spider-Man next turn. Nah, that's fine. We can play Kingpin here. Hey, this guy's ramping like crazy. We can clog by putting the Time Stone here. I think he'll play Psylocke no matter what. That gives us access to Miles Morales. I like this play a ton. I mean, taking 2 Soul Stones might suck a little bit, but... We're full, but that's okay. He's going to have to play there because we have another Polaris, so that'll kind of trick him. I think we go Miles and Jeff, yeah? Get clones of both, why not? All right, let's move Jeff into the middle. We've got the She-Hulk there. We could just kill the She-Hulk, so we're feeling good about that. We need a way... You know what it is? We need to play Spider-Man here. Well... I don't hate this play. Okay, so I think we go Jeff, Spider-Man, Kingpin. We have our Jeff here, and then we play Shang-Chi to seal it off. Our first card was Jeff, right? Oh, this is in the bag. Oh, this is great, guys. He's got to leave, right? You would think so. Oh, it's great. I mean, I think either way we're good. We get the big power swap there. We don't have Negasonic, but we're gonna go before him, and we just hope Silk bounces to the middle because he doesn't play a card in the mid. Yeah, dude, we don't lose this. Are you gonna stay, Davix? He's staying. Shang-Chi. He goes Devil into, okay, well, there you go. That was a, that worked out pretty well. Again, these locations are doing pretty good job to favor us. Kingpin got some use there out of the stones. He spread his cards out pretty well, but, man, just so much consistent value play between the Miles and the Polaris, Silk, Jeff. They add up, right? Alrighty, we have Jeff, Shang-Chi, Arrow, and Negasonic. With Stark Tower, I don't even think we try for the raft. We can kind of play defense on the raft and use Spider-Man and stuff, but we're not going to actively go for it. Lizard, haven't seen that in a minute. I would say, what, Sarah Tech deck and or Shuri. It'd be nice to get the Kraven down now. Spider-Man is also a decision to go with. This is kind of cool, too, because we can just block him from getting that. Kraven early is never bad. I think let's go Spider-Man. I think Lizard. Wow, he gets the raft anyway. We actually kind of end up helping him here.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Wasn't expecting the Brood. Ouch. But we pulled just a random Broodling. Okay. Yeah, let's go Kraven. And Silk. Probably should have done both on the other side for the draw, but whatever. And we've got Wong to deal with. So we have priority now, meaning we can do Negasonic, but I think we snap, play Arrow, and pull his Wong over to this left side that he can't use anymore. Okay.
All systems go.
Okay, so he plays his Raft card early. We know what that is. He's got 22 mid, 11 left. He's already used the left. He's going to Surfer, which at best adds 4 power, so he's up to 15 on this lane. We abandon this lane anyway. But we probably abandon this lane to go here. 14 here. Polaris. Kingpin. There's a world where this can get all messed up, but I think we're okay. Wow. It's a lot that just happened there. A lot just happened against the Surfer deck, but we had Silk go to the right location. I feel like I was watching a show, but that ended up working us. Look at this, Jeff and Kraven holding their own on the right side. And then, again, Arrow, she's finding use. Continues to just fantastic play to stop the Wong, stop the double Silver Surfer, all that noise. Okay, so we have Nerd, Asgard, Silk, Kingpin, and Spider-Man to start us off. Sinister London. Ooh, double Kingpin and double Silk. Both of those seem like crazy fun. Let's go double Kingpin because we're playing the Toxic Mobster. If we can get Kraven, having 2 Kravens and 2 Silks is extraordinary, right? All right, let's get the other Silk down now. Ooh, anyone but Spider-Man? Miles, that's fine. Who's the other one, though? Oh, Bullocks. Okay. Oh, with priority, 2 Negasonics? Yeah, this is pretty hot. We feel really good about that. Go left? No? Okay. I mean, we've got a lot of protection going on. Woof. Okay, so let's go Arrow, drags the stature here, and then if it goes Arrow here, we also drag it there. That feels pretty good. We could probably snap here.
Snap.
Nice. Look at the double Kingpin hit. Black Bolt dies to Negasonic, gets rid of both of our cards. We still have the Negasonic over there. Now, we don't have anything happening outside of that, but he's going to have to retreat, man. He just doesn't have enough to put up, I would assume, right? Like, what is he going to put up? Maybe 2 Dooms? Is that his best play? He has 2 Draculas. Interesting. Okay, there you go. What a wild, weird game that was, but kind of Kingpin did his work. It worked out okay, and we got another 4 Cooper. All right, now we have the Surfer version of the deck, and Villain Surfer definitely, it's got a lot of potential. If you can control right, it's going to do well. We're going up against a destroy build here with a danger room. So storming as soon as possible is ideal. We have all 3 drops now. No Sarah yet. Kind of nerve-wracking. He's going to ramp out a tad, play a 4 drop on 3. And it's sewer system. So let's go probably into danger room is the play that I like the best. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we keep the broods. We do have storm. And not prio quite yet. I'm thinking we go... I think we go storm right side just to really pressure this guy. Now, he can get into this with his Wolverine, but we'll make sure that we put enough power to kind of make it tough on him. Gladiator's a good play. Kraven's obviously pretty good, too. I think we go... Yeah, I think we go with these 2, and then we just hope we don't pull death. Lady Deathstrike, I'll be damned. And well, we give him free ramp as well, so woof. All right, so if we move everything away from there, and then we just play this, it should be enough to win, especially because we're moving cards to buff the Kraven. If it's a null, I guess we could struggle a bit, but I think this is our safest play line to win here. Null 16. So if it moves it, it's 18, but then we're going to have the Surfer. It would have been fine either way. Look at that. Let's go. Beautiful. Perfect against a deck where we had a lot go wrong, but it still didn't matter all that much. Showcases just the flexibility of having all these different 3 drops. Gladiator's a must now because of his power, and then you can combine Kraven and Kingpin to synergize with Polaris, Spider-Man, and the Jug. Okay, so we have R. Kelly, and we have pretty good... he says, I don't believe me. It's because I have Cozy or Is It? So I'm guessing he doesn't think it's me. We have Quinjet coming out. Beautiful pixel Quinjet. Oh my gosh. And of course we have our Kraven. Let's go ahead and play the Kraven in the mid here. Oh man, this guy's variant game is beautiful. Great portal. We'll take that for sure. And then I think we're going to storm a lane. Do we want to storm left and brood, or do we want to storm right and brood? I think we go left. I think we go left here. Is this like classic Rocks and Hawks? A surefire way to my heart? Okay, we go brood here. We go Nebula here. And I damn near want to snap, I'll be honest. Because we have Surfer, too. Okay, so we have Magneto to pull all these cards away, which means we're going to play him in the middle there. Magneto has to be played on 6, though, so we're going to have to decide what way we want to go. For sure, let's go Korg. Yeah. This is probably pretty good. He's snapping. He feels confident.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
We pulled a Thanos by himself. Hello. And then we have Magneto. Okay, so if we pull 2, 4, 6, 8, we had 16 over there. Is Magneto mid just by far our best play? Oh my gosh, is this...
I am Iron Man.
Yo, this is going to be the greatest win. We got Nebula right side to win it and moving Darkhawk. That is why... Ridiculous. Magneto can just win games by himself, and that's clearly a great example. Now, Magneto wasn't in this deck because it's the Surfer deck, but Fate still brought us together and just synergizes with everything, right? We have a 10 Kraven. It's beautiful. All right, we start with Hellfire Club. We have Kraven and Kingpin, our choices of the Spider-Man villains. Storm and Gladiator, good curve depending on the situation. And we've got a high Evo deck, so we feel pretty good. We now feel, I would say, really good. I think we go Kingpin over Kraven for now. Yeah, I think this is already going to be a game over. We snap. We play Storm left side, effectively only giving him Onslaught, which he just played on too, so that's going to be really tough for him. He's going to just try to win with Infinite and She-Hulk, I guess. We've got 5 over there. It's turn 4. We've got Brood, Gladiator, and Spider-Man. We're going to play Spider-Man. I think we just play Spider now. Because we clog and we get rid of whatever he's playing here. Like, he might play a card here. He might not. He does. It's Cyclops. We just take it out of... Oh, beautiful. Clog it up. We have 1 left lane. And we kind of need Surfer, but also we have... Oh, it's... Okay. Well, we're looking good. And we've got Sarah. Okay, he's got to call it, yeah? You would think so? We get the double discounted bonus. All of our stuff's going to be 1 cost.
It's clobbering time.
Oh, boy. Yeah, we're looking okay here. Look at how much we can do. So, Gladiator now. Juggernaut is funny. That'd give us 7. 9. 11. I think we just go with this, yeah. Fill out the Broods. Swipe it up. He might play through because he feels like we can't win mid, but we definitely can. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I don't know why that guy's stuck with it. I felt maybe he feels like we didn't have a play line. But the Gladiator coming up huge, and again, is why he's just like essential in the deck. And that's going to be it, my friends. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Again, don't mind the dust. I am finally changing my setup for the first time that I've ever been a content creator. So stay tuned for some pretty cool changes, and hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you have not and you want to be updated on future videos, go ahead and subscribe down below. And until the next one, happy snapping.